What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to talk about what's happening with Tesla stock moving forward, what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. Anyways, so what's happening with the markets is the market's fighting some tough resistance, and so far we've been struggling to break through the key levels I called out. So, for example, you guys can see Tesla tried to rebound, and then we hit this 202 zones. This is our 20 EMA. And look at how it struggled to break this. Look at this green line. This was a tough resistance. Tesla really failed to break that so far. Had we broken this green line, if we saw nice bars past this instead of seeing wicks, we could have tried to attempt to fill this gap, but we failed to do so thus far. So that's showing us that there's weakness still developing on the charts. If you look at SPY, okay, I gave it time. The same thing happened. We tried to break. We actually came just under our 20 EMA. We haven't been able to crack this key resistance, and instead we just came back down. So the charts are still showing weakness as I speak. And a lot of that's happening because of the fact that the recessionary fears are still there. Fear is still driving the markets. And we also have this news coming out right over here as the US is getting involved in the whole situation. So we're just going to wait and see what happens with this whole situation involving another attack. So this is very, very important. It's going to cause volatility in the markets most likely. So I'm still waiting to see if something happens, if there's like a start to this. So we'll see. But this is something that's worth noting. So keep this in the back of your guys' minds. This will affect the markets and it will likely cause possible downside if there is an attack, just temporarily. I don't think it's going to have like a very, very big long-term effect, at least for now. But there's going to be a short-term reaction, most likely. For data for tomorrow, there's not really much coming out. It's all very, very minor. So that brings me up to my next point about this big opportunity in the markets. So what I just wanted to say is that one way that people become rich is they buy the dips during stock market crashes, they dollar cost average, and they remain very convicted in their plays, no matter how much the market dips, because that is how many people start acquiring shares for cheap. And then we see these massive runs. So, what do I mean by this? Well, let me give you one very, very important example. Tesla was back in the 191 area on June 13th, right? When this thing started running into the 200s, approaching 300 a share almost, people were wishing they were buying it down here in this 191 area, right? Even when Tesla ran all the way up to 198, people were wishing they bought the dip down here at 140. And people tell me this all the time. They wish they bought the dip. They wish they bought the dip. Well, you have another opportunity to buy those dips. Cantor Fitzgerald still has a $248 price target for Tesla, despite the fact that they once again gave it a different rating. They still believe Tesla will run back up to 248. I think that Tesla will eventually, surpass that and start running very, very soon. I think before the year ends, there could still be another bull run coming for Tesla, especially with the robo taxi events coming out. So, like I said before, this is just another buying opportunity. I don't see myself being afraid of this. I do want to warn you all though that even if you do buy the dips right here on Tesla, there is still a risk it dips lower, and that's just a very, very good opportunity again. So the best strategy I always use, I'm going to be very blunt and very honest with this, is dollar cost average. I like to dollar cost average down. The more it dips, the more I'll just buy slowly, slowly, slowly. You could do this based off how much money you have. So if you only have $1,000, you don't need $1,000,000 to dollar cost average. If you only have $1,000, slowly buy in with $100 every time it hits particular support levels. Like for example, that's one way you could go about it. If not, if you have much more than that, you could even like increase your position size. That depends on your own strategy. And I'm not here to give you guys financial advice, but I'm just trying to say, I know people have commented in the past, like, how are you always going to dollar cost average? The answer is you have cash on the side and you don't just YOLO too much too fast. You can even slowly build a position. And these positions will grow over time. This is more like a long term investment. But, anyways, when it comes to the way Tesla's moving, like I said before, this is a big opportunity. We have opportunities left and right in the market. And we're seeing more and more of these opportunities. If you look at the IWM continuing to sink, the opportunities are coming. You knew how much this actually ran in the past and what's capable of doing. I think there's a big opportunity in the QQQ. Not saying that this is bottomed or anything like that, but I'm just saying that, as this dips lower, I do think this has more downside potential looking at the chart. But like I'm saying, there's still opportunity that's coming in these markets, and you have to be paying attention to it because before you know it, right? Remember the last time we saw this big dip all the way down to this 411 area? This thing blasted off within a few months to new all-time highs. So the market's going to blast off like crazy. It's going to be fast when it starts running again. Okay? The market's pricing in a recession and all of that. And very soon there's going to be a big move that's coming. So, anyways, let's talk about Tesla and the others. Don't forget, there's a big opportunity right here in this move, especially as Tesla has very, very bullish price targets from analysts hitting the 200s, not to mention the 240s, the 250s, and even some $300 price targets out there. I personally believe Tesla will surpass the 300s again, but it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen this month, most likely. It may take longer than that. So, this is just the opportunity. Just want to call that out. Anyways, going back, let me just mention that when you look at the 1 hour time frame on Tesla, we struggled to break past our 20 EMA. If we do break this 201 area, because this is trending downwards, this is why the resistance was trending down and Tesla was making lower highs. So 201, if we break that and we hold above it, I think we could make an attempt to fill this gap. If we fail to do so, we're looking at our support currently around this 195 to 196 area. If we lose that, we could be dipping all the way down towards 190 all over again. So Tesla, it's on a bit of a downtrend. It's still looking, technically speaking, it's more bearish because we are making lower highs and we're still struggling as I speak. Whether or not this continues will depend on some geopolitical news, but I just want to call it out. That's something you need to pay attention to. For Nvidia, the same setup, the 20 EMA. If you look at 101, that's our resistance. If we were to break past 101, we could attempt to try to hit our gap fill all the way up here around 106, but it hasn't done so thus far. We'll see if it could close above 100 or not. If it closes below this, that's just more weakness that's developing. Watch 97.5, another level I called out. That's where we kind of bounced off of earlier today. If that fails, we'll be dipping back down to 93. So far, it's holding up decently, but there is weakness developing. Bitcoin is rejecting, continuing to fall back below its 20 EMA, and there's a risk of this dipping all the way down towards 50,000. Not looking too good on Bitcoin. It's still on a big downtrend. For Aapl stock, Aapl is also struggling to break its 20 EMA. The 210 area is resistance. It's struggled to break that. We have support currently around this 204 area. That's the level we called out. If that fails, we'll be coming all the way down to 200. Look at resistance all the way up here. The tough resistance is actually going to be around 210. So far, it's just barely holding up, so just be careful. The QQQ is looking more bearish as well. It's also struggling to break past its 20 EMA. Look at 438 as resistance. If we manage to break and hold above that, I'll be looking at 442, then eventually the gap fill to 448. If we lose support at 432 or the 432s, we'll be dipping all the way down towards this previous resistance becoming support around 427. So just be careful. We still look a little bit more bearish. For other factors out there, we also have the IWM. We need to break past 204 to turn back up. Otherwise, we're still kind of like rejecting. This could end up dipping back down towards 200. So be careful with the IWM. That's going to be another big factor that's worth mentioning. For Coinbase, we have the 20 EMA around 193. That's going to be our resistance. If we manage to break this, like I said, we could fill the gap all the way up to 202. We're still struggling to do so, but I'm seeing more strength in this compared to other stocks. In terms of this recovery, it's doing a decent job of still fighting its 20 EMA. If we were to lose 184, we'd be looking for a bigger drop down into the 170s. So just be careful with it. Amazon, it's doing an okay job so far, trying to recover. Once again, the 20 EMA is coming back again. It's a 163. You got to break that to fill this gap. Otherwise, we're just shuffling for now on Amazon. For Meta, same thing. Now, this is the one that's building more strength compared to the others. We're actually doing a good job at trying to hold above our 20 EMA, but the real resistance is now at, I believe, the 480 area. That's where our other EMAs happen to be. We got to break that to start pushing up for this gap resistance at 486. So watch the 480 area as a tough resistance. We're still kind of shuffling between, I think, 474 and 480, but 480 is going to be a key resistance. We'll see if we could break that or not. So Meta's doing a better job than like Amazon and the others. For Microsoft, still kind of weak. We need to break 398 to turn back up. Otherwise, we're just trading sideways. We're rejecting here, so we could be dipping back down lower. We could retest 390s. Just be careful with that. And then Google, we need to break past 164 to turn back up. We've actually rejected on Google. So I see a risk of this dipping down towards 158. So the market is still rejecting, still showing some weakness. Tesla is also in that boat. It's trying to hold above this support in this 195 area, so I do give it some credit for that. But like I said before, the chart is still favoring a downwards trend and struggling to break past its key resistance. So we'll see if any news comes out involving the whole situation between Israel and Iran. We'll have to be very patient with this. So please be mindful of this situation and the fact that it's going to affect us for the short term. But I'm still very optimistic because I want to say this, and for the markets, okay, I'm just talking about the market right now when I say that. Um, for the markets, we'll have to see what happens. If we do dip more, it's just another buying opportunity. That's what I see. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day and peace out.